mynews.studio.
Picture this. On a Nigerian coastline, a fisherman sets aside his net and picks up a rescue basket. Meanwhile, on beaches around the world, leatherback turtles are crawling ashore in numbers we haven't seen in decades. What's driving this global sea turtle resurgence?
Today's date is November 21st, 2025. And it's not just one isolated spot. Across beaches from Florida all the way to Nigeria, sea turtles aren't just holding on, they're actually thriving. For years, the message was all about decline and extinction. So what's changed?
There's been a real transformation, especially in places like Nigeria. Fishermen who once caught turtles now work with conservation centers, like the Biodiversity Preservation Center, to help rescue and release them. But what led to that shift in attitude?
Part of it was incentives, but education played a major role too. Outreach programs made the economic benefits of keeping turtles alive really clear, things like ecotourism. But wasn't it hard convincing people to step away from long-standing traditions or a reliable income?
Definitely. For some communities, selling turtle products was both a tradition and a livelihood. Changing that wasn't just about money. It was about building trust. Conservationists worked closely with local leaders, and interestingly, some former poachers actually became guides. That's a pretty big shift in both identity and day-to-day life.
And this wasn't only happening in Nigeria. In Greece, for instance, communities started reducing artificial lighting near nesting beaches. Why is that so important?
Sea turtle hatchlings rely on natural light to guide them to the ocean. Artificial lights can confuse them, sending them the wrong way. So, just dimming the lights means more hatchlings make it safely to the sea. It's a small change, but the impact is significant.
Florida's example stands out too. Leatherback turtle counts have reached new highs, even after major hurricanes. How did they pull that off?
Quick restoration of nesting habitats turned out to be key. Local groups moved fast to protect beaches, rebuild dunes, and monitor nests. It's really hands-on work, sometimes literally, but the payoff is clear.
So there's a pattern: community involvement, practical fixes. But is this approach useful for other endangered animals too?
It might be. International agreements, like CITES or the Barcelona Convention, provided legal support, and groups such as the IUCN SSC Marine Turtle Specialist Group coordinated a lot behind the scenes. So, local action was important, but it was strengthened by global backing.
So, policy and science really worked hand in hand. But what about the new challenges? For example, climate change is affecting nesting temperatures, which influences the sex of hatchlings. What are researchers doing about that?
They're starting to protect cooler nesting sites to try and balance those sex ratios as the climate warms. There are other measures too, like modifying fishing gear to cut down on bycatch, tightening regulations, and using better tracking to prevent illegal trade. Plus, efforts to protect seagrass and reduce pollution are gaining ground.
Do you think these strategies are enough? Or is there still more ground to cover?
There's always more to do. It's an ongoing process. Community-led conservation, adapting as situations change, and keeping up international coordination are all crucial. The main thing is, these recent successes show just how much is possible if we keep at it.
So the sea turtle comeback isn't only a win for conservation, it's almost like a blueprint for bringing back other species. Do you see these lessons being applied in other contexts?
That's the idea. Sea turtles are considered a keystone species, so their recovery signals healthier oceans overall. And it really demonstrates that when communities, scientists, and policymakers work together, progress is possible, no matter the region or the challenge.
From protected stretches of Florida sand to fishermen in Nigeria who've become conservationists, this is a story about adaptation and perseverance.
And it's a reminder, with the right mix of science, good policy, and strong local leadership, even species on the brink can recover.
Thanks for joining us as we followed the sea turtle recovery from Africa to the Americas. We looked at what made it work, why it matters, and what's next.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.